Hi everybody, and welcome to your general weekly reading for the week beginning February 5th, 2018. Welcome to February. Can you believe it? Already the second month. Sorry. I'm just so excited about February. I'm just going to knock over my entire desk. Can you believe that it's the second month of February already? I cannot. Holy crap, this year is already going to fly by. I can just feel it. Kind of a good thing, kind of not so good thing, because our lives are passing us by. Not to go in a dark direction, but sometimes time passes so quickly when you're an adult. So it's really important to take time to stop it and just to reflect on how your life is going and all that you have accomplished. So this week I will be using the Healing with the Angels Oracle card deck by Doreen Virtue. It is an oldie but a goodie. I just really felt that this is really what we need. You know, angel cards are so lovely. They just have such positive messages. There's not a whole lot of work involved when we get into angel card readings. It's a lot of just self-love and insight in that way. It's all very light and loving. The tarot is loving and light as well, but I just feel like, you know, we sometimes just need to go back to the basics, and these cards are quite lovely. And I feel like this week, not that it's going to be like a particularly bad week, I just think, you know, we've been through a lot in the last few months. We've been through a lot already this year. And so maybe it's just time for a bit of self-care. That was just kind of the message that I was getting and why I'll be using these cards. I like to combine cards usually in my readings, and tarot is so accurate and it's so amazing for getting your answers and to seek insight. But sometimes, you know, you just kind of need a quick little, they're like the mom, the nurturing mother of the card world. So sometimes it's nice just to get a big motherly nurturing hug and knowing that you're perfect, this is what you just need to do for your own self-care and that kind of a thing. And again, not that tarot doesn't do that, but it's just a different situation. And I know I'm rambling. I apologize. It's been a very long day. Not that that's your problem. But anyways, so I hope that your week was really good last week. We did talk about lots of emotions coming up for me personally. Actually, and for everybody that I saw last week. It was lots of emotion. So if you were finding that you were particularly emotional last week, I hope that this week is better for you. We did have an amazing event happen. I was originally reading that it didn't happen for 36 years, but the last one apparently happened in the 1800s, which I haven't actually fact-checked. I've just heard through the grapevine, like on talk shows and media and stuff like that. So that's pretty amazing. And that event that I'm rambling on about is the super blood blue moon that happened in the sign of Leo. So that was a super because it appeared to be closer to the earth than it normally is the moon. It was a blood moon because there was a full lunar eclipse, and there was a blue moon because it was the second full moon in January. It was the second blue moon of the month, which means it's a blue moon. So there's only 2 blue moons this year. The next one will be in July. But when we have these massive events happen, there's an immense amount of energy that comes in. And, you know, you can work with the energies or they can work against you. And so what we do in those situations is we surrender and we do rituals or ceremony, and we meditate and we tune into the energies and we use them to basically perform magic, whether it's letting things go, whether it's just really tuning in and clearing your energy, like whatever it is. We like to really pay attention to those events so that we can use them to our fullest advantage, because they are, as rough as they feel at times, they are gifts, and they are a way for us to propel ourselves forward. So if you were feeling particularly emotional last week, it could have just been the effects of that. And also in the sign of Leo, you know, it's a very passionate, very fun sign. So anything clearing that's, you know, preventing you from living that joyful, fun life, and anything that's keeping you from your inner child will be coming up. And lots of blood boiling type of situations or patterns that you've been ignoring will be coming up for you. Or did come up for you. And if it didn't yet, it could be still coming. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you got to see the blood moon. We didn't get to see it because it was cloudy here. Although in the morning, I don't know if it was, because the eclipse happened in the morning, so I don't know if it was visible at that time. But anyways, okay, let's get into the cards. I'll stop talking. Okay, so just take some few breaths with me and pick an intention for this week, something that you would like to have happen or questions answered. And just breathe and open yourself up to be receptive of guidance and love. I'm going to pull 4 cards. I'm turning it to the angels. Angels, what do we need to know for this week? Ouch. Head pain. Again with this pressure, lots of pressure. Okay, so we pulled the theme card, a beginning of the week card, middle of the week card, and weekend card. Okay, so for the general theme of the week, we have study. So study is a card of school, of learning new skills, and school does not stop once we get out of high school or university. Life is about continuous learning. This doesn't need to necessarily be a formal means of education. It can just be, reading some new articles or reading a book about something new that you haven't really learned too much about yet. So this is just a theme of studying. If there's something new that you would like to perhaps learn, this week might be a great week to pick that up and learn it. What they're kind of making abundantly clear to me is that for most of us, this card symbolizes like the study of life. So like you're going to be learning lessons about life, and not like in a harsh way, but like learning, like you're a student of life basically. And I think that will be really clear to you this week by how other people act, or learning how certain things work just by living, like not even actively going out and searching for a lesson, just kind of your existence in the world propelling you forward is almost your presence brings lessons, and just kind of observing how people work. That reminded me of this story. So we were just downtown at a workshop, and this guy was laying on the floor, like on a bench, and he was laying very strange. And so we, when you see people that are like that, you just automatically assume that they're drunk or sleeping in there because that's where they want to live. And so you don't really think anything of it. You just kind of walk by. But then we stopped and we were like, well, what if he's not okay? So we went and we talked to him. He wasn't responding. Maybe he was passed out. Maybe something was wrong with him. And we took a look at him, and he looked like, like he wasn't homeless, like he wasn't just trying to sleep there. Maybe he was drunk, or maybe there was actually something wrong with him. And so you just kind of, when you go through situations like that, when you're, tempted to just keep walking because that's what you've been trained to do, because you just leave them alone. They're just having a good nap. But what if something's wrong with them? So, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. You don't really know what the situation is, but it's just very interesting to go forward and witness yourself in situations like that, and just realize when, oh, I didn't even think twice about acting that way, or wait a minute, how should we do this? And even noticing, like, what if we were to, tell someone that he was there? Maybe he would get kicked out on the street and he wouldn't have a warm place to sleep, even though he shouldn't have been sleeping there. Like, should he be out in -30 weather? I don't really think so. Or what if he was really sick and we just ignored him and left him there and he died, or something horrible happened to him? So, it's just kind of about witnessing in the situation and seeing where you are at, and what kind of actions you're taking, and where those actions are based. Like, is it based in a belief system? Is it based on programming? Is it just based on routine? So that's, I think, more of the message going forward into this week, is that just being a student of life and learning and observing. Oh, wow, and my jaw will not stop cracking, so I think this is part of the reading. Relax. If you find yourself tightening up, perhaps going and getting a massage this week might be a great idea, and just relaxing, unleashing, relaxing that tension. So we have the abundance card at the beginning of the week. And my nails are still bad. I know I haven't gotten around to taking the nail polish off. Please ignore them. So the abundance card in the beginning of the week is a reminder that we are surrounded by abundance. You are blessed. We talked about this last week. If you have a roof over your head, if you're watching this video on the internet, whatever, you are blessed. Your life could be so much worse. And so it's so important that we focus on the positive and the blessings that we do have. And when we find ourselves in those states of negativity, that you find your way back to the positive and you allow those positive emotions to grow and expand and to heal you, so that you're more, because we are wired as humans to be more negative. It's a survival instinct. So you can override that, but it does take work. And so by allowing those good moments to grow and expand out of your heart and into the world, basically, you are going to live a happier life. Better things are going to happen to you. Your impact on the world will be better. So coming from a place of abundance will help you feel better in the simplest possible way. It'll make you feel better physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So focus on the good. If you want, have a gratitude journal. That's a great way to do it. So the middle of the week, we have divine timing. So remembering that everything comes to us in divine timing, and that if you are waiting on something to manifest, perhaps it's just not the right time. Also understanding that any events that do transpire is in divine timing. So everything comes in its own time. So consequences, not in such a scary way. That word, I hate that word because it sounds like when your mom gets mad at you for doing something and you're like, you have to face consequences. It sounds so scary. But in this sense, it's like you've made some of your decisions that have led you down this path. You may not have necessarily known where that was going to take you. And now you're living in the divine timing. Now you're understanding the implications, I guess, or the results of the actions that you have taken up to this point. Doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that this is now where you are. So everything is manifesting into divine timing. And for some of you who are trying to manifest a partner or a certain situation, it might just not be time yet. So releasing that to the divine timing, or to the divine, and allow the timing to be perfect, because it will come at just the right time. And you can't control other people's free will either, other people's free will choices. Okay, so on the weekend we have celebration, which is a beautiful card. And there we have the moon. So we're still feeling the effects of the moon. Because it's so intense, I think we are still going to be feeling it for a while. And this reminds me actually of Archangel Haniel. So work with Archangel Haniel to help you integrate the moon energies, or if you're having lady problems, ask Archangel Haniel to help you out. And to, find that place of serenity. Something for some of us, this weekend I think is going to be a really good weekend. Find things to celebrate. Perhaps something amazing does happen to you and you do find a reason to celebrate. Or maybe it's just a Saturday and you just want to celebrate life. Finding reasons and going back to that place of abundance. And understanding that you are surrounded by abundance, and that is worth celebrating. So celebrating those little moments. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying before about expanding the positive within ourselves. Celebrate those good feelings. Like when something good happens to you, hold on to that feeling and allow it to grow. Don't let it just, flitter by. And have those beautiful moments. Like this week when I was having a really crappy week, or something would kind of throw me off and I'd start to go into the negative, I would just remember like how lucky I was to, have cuddles with my dog while I was waiting for my car to heat up, because it's winter and it's friggin' cold where I live. So you have to let the car heat up forever. And so then by the time that it does, it's been a few minutes. So I came back inside and I got to cuddle with my dog. And just thinking about that makes me feel so good. And just, you carry that with you. And it's just something so small, but I'm so grateful for that. And that is that is abundance right there, to be able to have that opportunity. So there are so many wonderful things that happen to you every single day, and all of the wonderful choices that you have made. So have that abundance mindset and just practice it. And there's an entire book written about it that is amazing. It's called Hardwiring for Happiness. And I think his name is Robert Hansen. I don't have the book actually here. But if you'll Google it, you'll find it. He's PhD. He's a psychologist. It is fantastic. It combines like psychological with physiological. So it's really good. And neuroscience in there too. So it actually is changing your brain matter. So it's based in science. It's not woo-woo. And there you have it. I hope that you have a fantastic week ahead filled with tons of abundance and love and prosperity and everything. If you would like apparently prosperity is coming. If you would like a general reading with me, you can email me at thejourneytospirit@gmail.com. And please come and visit me at katiehunt.ca. I would love to hear from you. And I hope that you have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.